We are here again, and this has been a really interesting week. Yeah, and apparently our show of last Saturday started a turmoil from the both oppositions that we have, both camps. One is, of course, the traditional medicine, AMA-driven medicine, allopathic medicine. And the other one is also the alternative field and naturopathic medicine and all the things they push for their approach to cancer treatment. And apparently we upset everybody. Part with the... I think we upset everybody with the Robin Roberts story, the newscast at Good Morning America, that she talked about her case and how she's in a mess of trouble with the leukemia, bone marrow problems. And that, of course, is a tremendous embarrassment to the AMA, and it's evidence that what they do, it does only damage, doesn't resolve anything, especially after the 5 years were up and she was considered cured, and then it is, wow, worse problem than before. So that upset, of course, the AMA, although we have nothing to do with it. We just expose what really happened. Not that we don't know that already, but this was confirmation of what we have said. But apparently, for some reason, also upset the alternative medicine, and they were afraid that the attention will come to us and not to them. So they started with the alkaline fairy tale. Keep your body alkaline. And because of somebody that is Otto Warburg, I talked about him many times, but it was a 1932 Nobel Prize. And the interesting thing about that is that all his writing is in German. All you get is interpretation of different individuals, what he really said. And none of those interpretations are correct. But the alternative practitioner bring it up, and then they go, oh, see, you have to keep your body alkaline. Yeah, sure, if you want to kill yourself, go right ahead. Anyway, and we'll go in more detail some other time, but I just wanted to say that this week, with our last Saturday show, we gave rise to the resentment from both directions.
Make friends and influence people.
Yeah. Yeah, when you tell the facts, and nobody likes to hear it, and so there is a real mess. But of course, because Barbara was here, and we were trying to disprove all the nonsense that was out there by one agent provocateur, Michelle Creature.
This is a lie.
Yeah. Michelle Woven Creature. She's not human. She's some kind of, I don't know what form of life from hell she is. But anyway.
Zombie?
I don't know what.
Zombies are popular nowadays.
Yeah, they are. And now you can turn a person into a zombie. Yeah, that's another story of interest. The Canadian had a field day with that. And some people in the U.S. are taking that article seriously. Anyway.
I think one of the schools here in Oklahoma had district-wide zombie day or something like that.
Really?
Kids were dressing up. Yeah, kids were, putting the death face on and going to school looking like zombies.
But it's fun. It's a bad taste, but it's funny. But anyway, the main problem was from the person that we had Barbara Hartwell as guest, and she gave her opinion of this individual that has been annoying everybody lately. Originally for 2.5 years, just Liz Medink and myself, but now it's been bothering everybody. And so we had Wendy showing up and had both the voices of Barbara and Wendy indicating that she was not definitely Wendy pretending to be Barbara, but those were the threats we received from the trolls about they were going to expose us that Wendy was the fake Barbara Hartwell. Well,
unless you make a deal.
Yeah, we are going to expose you. That Wendy is actually the voice. Actually, first they said that Barbara Hartwell was a figment of our imagination. The person did not exist. And then it was actually Wendy borrowing that name to show. So Barbara came like several times before as a guest, and we compared the voices. There is no doubt about that. Well, that wasn't sufficient for the trolls, so they started more attacks. So Barbara's agreed to come back. She's here today, and she is going to work with us to give you a picture of what's happening. And let me tell you, I can already let you know that we are going to have a good time. Gets the message. So,
hello, Orion. Let me say hi to everybody in the chat room. We got John, JJ, Jax, and no trolls yet. And everybody
Jimmy's not here, huh?
Yeah.
He's the one.
And everybody on Live 365, Orion Talk Radio, Micro 1650 in Tonawanda, New York. Like I said, Live 365 and Spreaker.com. iPhone apps, TuneIn apps. Well, I don't know what the iPhone app is really, but anyway. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No, that's okay. So, Barbara, are you there? We have Barbara again. I told you. You
yes,
there?
I'm here. I'm
yeah.
Here. Still Barbara.
I hope you're not getting tired of coming on with us.
No, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, because
I kind of miss Arnie, but Arnie can't be here because he's actually Barbara.
Right. Barbara is doing the voice of Arnie, so. Oh no, Arnie is a person, but Barbara isn't. What's the story? I mean, it keeps changing. That woman keeps changing her stand, right?
Well, Bob threatened that if you didn't have him as a guest on the show, he was going to expose that Randy was really Arnie. And unless you made a deal, let's make a deal.
Yeah. And then he was not going to expose the fact that we actually hacked your blog post. and we put article that you did not write. We wrote them and we put them there without your knowledge. And, of course, they could get there and stay there if you didn't want them there, right?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, sure. Sure.
I mean, every day the stories get more and more.
Well, I don't know how much time we have before the first break, but while we're on the subject of
Got
Bob,
a couple of minutes.
Yeah, Bob, Randy, why don't you tell us about Bob's new blog?
Oh, well, Bob's got a new ripoff page that he basically took the banner off of medicalconspiracy.com and pasted it up on another page and took a Three Stooges logo and cut out pictures of Dr. C, myself, and Wendy and put them up there. And then he added some paragraphs that are misspelled and don't make any sense. Anyway,
ignorant to the hilt.
He's got some videos that he's made, and what he does is he steals our videos and then he cuts them up, and
he puts his salts on them.
Yeah, and puts his own little.
As some of you might know, my name is Antonella Carpenter, and although I've been called a lot of things, especially on the web, my title is doctor, as not really PhD, doctor as used in Europe.
I would like to point out a few inconsistencies or truths from these videos as Dr. Carpenter speaks. So, let's get started. How big is this operation?
This is Dr. Carpenter, and you're a physicist.
Yes.
Do you have medical doctors in your office?
Yes, we have two.
You have two?
Yes.
Tell me more about your staff. Who else is on your staff?
Well, just an LPN and then office manager.
Okay, you can clearly hear she said 2 doctors on her staff. But I only heard 1 LPN and an office manager. Hey, that's you, Wendy. But how come she needs a doctor on staff?
Because I'm a physicist and not an MD. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. What is the results?
What sorts of results are you getting? For example, let's just use breast cancer. What types of results are you getting?
the patient leave with a completely dead tumor. The result is 100% as far as our treatment.
100%. I don't think so.
As I said, if you go on the web, you see all these ridiculous attacks. They're gonna make you throw up.
Yeah. But he's been making a lot of videos lately, and he took
That's
one.
what he claims. He's making video. He's not sabotaging somebody else.
Yeah, serious video production here. And he last week he put up a video where he took some of our footage and a piece of a bootleg Barbara Hartwell video that apparently is from the 90s, 98, I think, and then added his own conclusions that this isn't Barbara Hartwell here. This is anyway. In one of these videos, he took my old video where I'm showing my car, the vandalism on my car, and he takes the sound of that where I'm saying, you see that? That's my car. And he takes that and he pastes it into some Department of Defense video showing a laser weapon burning a hole in a car.
You are looking through the sights of the Advanced Tactical Laser on board a C-130 from Kirtland Air Force Base, orbiting high above
Randy's
stationary target vehicle at the Army's White Sands Missile Range. This is the first time the weapon was successfully fired at a target with the intent of damaging it.
Yeah, you see that? That's my car.
So what happened? Are you out of your mind? Or some other comment.
And well, it's crazy. None of it makes any sense. I don't even know what the point is unless he's making a threat that they're going to attack my car from outer space.
They're not part of the department.
Who knows? It's insane.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to pick this up after the break. Anyway.
Okay. We're back, and we're going to let Randy finish up the story.
Well, yeah, I kind of got on a tangent, but that's what the guy does. He cuts up stolen footage, he puts them together and makes a mockery of stuff. Anyway, one of the things he put in this crazy recent video of his was a screenshot of a blog that didn't exist, or at least we didn't think existed. He put it in the video to show, hey, look, there's a new blog. It was called Barbara Hartwell and LazyMed Inc. On the Blogspot domain. And so I saw this. I couldn't read the article because it was, too blurry. Well, so I started looking for it, and sure enough, there it is. There's a blog on Blogspot, and it's owned by Pinocchio. And there's no articles on it yet, right? So
Bob Crisco, yeah.
Right. Well, but he's just using the name Pinocchio.
Oh, he's using the name Pinocchio?
Yeah. And the picture
this
that you drew.
This guy's an idiot. He thinks that's flattery.
And the picture you drew was his profile picture, too. Anyway. Yeah, swear to God. But here, so a couple of times I went back and looked, well, what's he added? Has he added anything? No. Well, I went back yesterday. This blog does not exist. This blog no longer exists. So, well, it's ours now.
So Bob shot himself in the foot.
One more time.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, it never hurts to have an extra blog.
Barbara Hartwell and LazyMed Inc. We can use it.
We got a special blog for just to cover the things that Barbara's done to help us,
But, one of the things that this agent provocateur, despicable troll figure from hell has said was, I cannot. First she said it did not exist. It was somebody that we created. It was Wendy's voice. And then she said, well, no, it's not Wendy's voice, but she still does not exist. Now, why would she, if she was a real person, why would she want to get involved and help? That's what she said. Why would she want to help LazyMed Inc.? And she never said Dr. Carpenter because, somebody that is...
Ms. Carpenter.
Right, and before she used to say Carpenter woman, but Now she's trying to appear magnanimous, and so she says miscut. But the thing is that, oh gosh, what was it that she was saying? Oh, I can't believe that. But what she said was, why would she want to help us? Why Barbara Hartwell, if she's a real person and she is here, why would she want to help us? Okay?
And why doesn't she listen to both sides of the story? You know, she's only listening.
Barbara can discuss that. Yeah, both sides. What both sides? But anyway.
In the story that proliferated the mainstream media for 3 years, that version, the version that got protected and everything else basically thrown out of under the rug during the court hearing.
Yeah. Yes. Let me say something about that. Okay. First of all, we know that Michelle Wolven is a low-grade moron. And nobody could make such idiotic comments who had any kind of intelligence at all. But she accused me of not having a journalistic integrity or some kind of thing like that because I didn't look into, quote, both sides. Well, guess what? I didn't approach this initially as a journalist. I approached it as an intelligence analyst. That's what I'm trained to do.
You saw the pattern.
I saw the pattern. I did a lot of hours and hours of research. As you both know, I spent hours in private Skype conversations and telephone conversations collecting facts. I searched out the evidence for myself, and then I searched out the libelous commentaries and the idiocy that was posted by Michelle Wolven and Bob and others. So I certainly did do my research. And once I had gathered my facts, once I had evidence, I then presented my reports as a journalist. That's the way I work.
Well, you know, none of this is convenient because last year when the trial was going on, nobody will stand up. Or some patient, as I said, did the deposition. And that goes with the fact that she said, we'll discuss that later, but she has said that before about, anybody have ever seen these people in person and have they talked to them in person? You know what? All the accusation and the attacks were made by people that nobody knew, nobody had ever seen, and nobody ever met in person. And the local TV station did article on people they never met. They never met them. They never had any other information than the woven creature calling them or other people or the husband of the dead woman calling them and having a phone communication, nothing else. They never met him, and it was all hearsay. But because the lawyer was involved, they took it as gospel. Okay, but there was never... However... my patient, they did the deposition. The deposition is done under oath. And it's done in the presence of the court reporter in an official situation, official procedure, following, like as if they were in court. So,
cameras rolling.
Those are in person. That's an in-person situation. What did they do? They did not admit it. In the monkey trial, they had no intention of admitting it in the trial. I would have known it too late when I thought I had an attorney that was helping me, and I was actually being paid to protect my interest. So I would not have known till the last minute till I suspected what was going on, and I took action to put an end to that. But think about it. Those people were actual people, and they were not just a few months. We're talking years out, being fined. And
Dr. Carpenter, let's remember that this so-called journalist was from the mainstream media. She was on a TV news station.
Right.
Okay?
And she did not listen to both sides.
And no, she didn't even do an investigation. Forget sides. She didn't even do an investigation to determine what your claims were, whether there was evidence, or whether your claims were factual. She just followed the storyline script written for her by the opposition. That's what she did.
Not only that, she had a letter written to the station by one of my patients, the MD, the one that is a retired MD, writing and claiming and stating that she was fine. They had totally ignored it. They had 5 people calling the TV station and saying, hey, we are former patient of Dr. Carpenter. We went to Les Medin. We had no problem. We didn't have any mutilation. We didn't have anything, any poisoning, any suffering. We're fine, and we don't have any cancer left. And she never returned those calls. That is for journalists.
And nobody got to hear the public. Okay, they tried you in the court of public opinion, and the public did not have an opportunity to listen to the truth and the facts.
Absolutely. They didn't.
Neither did the jury.
Well, the jury was that trial was a farce, okay? It was not something that could happen. And that's another thing. The TV station was harassing me, and I got furious because you cannot have a one-sided jury selected only by the attorney of the plaintiff.
Yeah, you were going off on her. That was cool.
I was mad. I mean, this is outrageous. That's the reason why people come in the U.S. from other countries, because U.S. advertises that there is justice for all.
And she's just got this look on her face like, oh, my God, how dare you?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think it's time that we address the letter.
The letter.
Written by Michelle Wolven to the station.
We got a break, I think.
We're hitting a break right now.
Okay, so after the break, I think it's time we do that.
Okay.
We got to fill out these forms. I'll be with you in a moment.
Free speech guaranteed. You're listening to the Orion Talk Radio Network.
Okay, now we're back from the break, and we are going to go over what happened after last week's show. After we had Barbara coming in and saying, yeah, obviously it's not Wendy's voice, it's me. I'm the real Barbara Hartwell, and I am the one who did research and did this. So, and it came to the... Okay, so it's a police thing. So
that used to be one of my favorite shows, believe it or not.
I liked it. Hawaii 5-0. We don't have any Dano that can book her, but
just the facts.
Yeah, just the facts.
No,
okay,
I think it's time that we cover the letter sent by Michelle Wolven. Is my voice coming?
Oh, great.
Loud and clear.
Yes,
Okay.
and it's you now, Wendy.
Headphones today. Okay. All right. Here it is. I'm not sure the date of this, but it was, I don't know,
See if I can find it in the
early
thing.
this week.
Yeah.
Michelle Wolven sent a letter to the station manager.
Monday, June 18th.
Okay, Monday. Okay, she sent a letter to the station manager of Orion Talk Radio. Here's the subject. Urgent, read, in big all caps with exclamation points. The Medical Conspiracy Radio Show. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but let me just summarize, and I'll read excerpts, okay? Here's where she starts off. I am extremely concerned because they have taken a crazy and dangerous turn in their tactics. That having a fraudulent person claiming to be ex-CIA who was tortured, used as a sex slave and mind control weaponry. She claims to be, quote, Barbara Hartwell. I don't know who she really is, nor do I care. What I do care about is her dangerous language that she is using on the air and on her supposed blog spot, which can be found here. And then she gives a link to my website. Well, aside from the fact that the woman is a semi-literate ignoramus and can't write a sentence, I should at least address a couple of these issues here. First of all, I have never, anywhere, at any time or place, in any report that I've written, on any radio show, on any public speaking engagement, I have never claimed to be, quote, used as a sex slave. I have no idea where she came up with that, okay?
Probably the same place where she heard Dr. Carpenter tell everybody that she was an MD.
Yes.
Must be the same place.
Yes. and of course, first she claimed in her other posts or her harassing letters that I did not exist. Next, she claimed I was a family member. Now she seems to be acknowledging that, well, she must be somebody who exists, okay? But, okay, but let me move on here, okay? Let me move on here. Okay. There are crazy people out there who follow this women, W-O-M-E, follow this women who claims to be Ms. Hartwell. They could be unstable and dangerous. Could, like she claims, have been sexually abused.
Could she have
Well, again, I never have claimed. I've never anywhere made any claims of any kind of sexual abuse. Okay, so she's lying right there. Then she says, Ms. Carpenter has Barbara Hartwell coming on the Medical Conspiracy radio show now 4 or 5 times, saying that she is now my enemy because I am the enemy of Miss Carpenter of LaserMed Inc., who has a dangerous and fraudulent laser that she uses on desperate cancer patients.
How is the laser fraudulent?
She's a liar. She's a manipulator, and she's preying off of desperate cancer victims.
Michelle Wolven. Okay. Now, she says...
That's what she is a manipulator, a liar, manipulator.
Oh, we're going to get into that. We're really going to get into that. We haven't even started yet with that. we have other evidence to present this evening.
Yeah.
Okay, now, she goes on. This is way over the top. You are allowing Ms. Carpenter to put my family in danger by enabling this crazy woman, meaning Barbara Hartwell. This is not responsible journalism.
What are you, a robot that needs to be enabled?
I want to know, are you a woman or a woman?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Now she says this is not responsible journalism. It is not free speech to target someone like this. I understand that Ms. Carpenter's business is hurting. Well, good. She should be in jail for fraud right now. Not sure what the status of the police investigation is either, as they can't tell. Dr. Carpenter, would you like to comment on that? Police investigation?
I like to know what police investigation she's referring to and who are they can't tell. Who? What police investigation and who can't tell? There is no police investigation. There was only a phony attempt of the attorney in Arkansas to take all my money that I don't have and the money of the corporation that doesn't exist anymore and just run with it. And so they push for a writ of execution to take the money that doesn't exist away. But that is an illegal request. And so it's not going anywhere.
So
but
she's fabricating stories about a so-called police investigation.
That has nothing to do with it. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next point. The Wolven creature's complaint against Dr. Carpenter and Barbara Hartwell. In case you didn't know, Ms. Carpenter is not a medical doctor as she portrays herself to be. What about that, Dr. Carpenter?
Oh,
okay.
no.
Oh, no. But go to the next sentence and then I'll cover everything. In fact,
Okay, in fact, she has recently scrubbed her site of any mention of this. She is committing a terrible act against humanity.
Oh.
Okay, now, anybody that has followed me from way back, and I'm telling you, when I started advertising on GCN and I was being interviewed by some host as a guest to discuss my secret, I always clearly stated Don't even think of connecting me with the word MD. Don't even think about that. I consider that an insult. I am a physicist and a laser expert, and keep that in mind. I've always worked with lasers, way back, when I was back in Europe.
And so the truth is, you have never claimed nor portrayed yourself as a, quote, medical doctor. And yet she is false accusing.
Yeah, and even in the video they're using against me, one of the video that was basically an infomercial done in Arkansas. They've been using it everywhere. Use my company property, because that video was made and paid for by the company, to discuss our treatment. And I always said, no, I am not an MD. I have 1 or 2, depending on the time, 2 MD working with me. And then they asked me, what other people do you have there? And I said, I have also nurse and, office manager and that type of thing. But I always said, no, because MD are trained technician. That's all they are. They might be highly trained. They're still technician. They're not scientists.
Well, he also stole a clip where you said, I'm a doctor in physics, and my original area of expertise is lasers, and started in weapons technology. And he ran with that tangent. So, weapons. See, folks, that's what she really wanted to do, kill people.
I had one quick question. Barbara Hartwell is a journalist that does her research, and why would she support Dr. Carpenter if she knew this?
What is your background? We're calling you
I'm a physicist, and my background was always in lasers. Mm-hmm. I always work in lasers in my physics work. But it just accidentally happened that we went into medicine. I never really cared for medicine. It just was accidental.
And so just one day you were working with something and you thought, well, maybe this will work? Or
No, actually it came from a challenge. Somebody was trying to be insulting because we were working on weapons, and that was the thing we were interested in.
I was also hit with exotic weapons, microwave, pulse weapons, laser weapons, and these are things that can knock you out unconscious. I've been knocked unconscious by these weapons.
So, as a journalist that does her research, again, why would she support Dr. Carpenter? This is Pinocchio on Medical Conspiracy.
No, the weapons are defense, so people won't kill you.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, see, it's everywhere. And I never, she said just recently I changed it. I never. Okay, we got a break again. Okay, we're back from the break, and I'm telling you, we must be really having a good time because time is going so fast. I don't know what's going on here. But anyway, one thing I wanted to point out about my claiming to be an MD and basically lying to people that come to me. One of the reasons patients tell me they decided to come to see me, the majority of patients tell me that one of the main reasons they decided to come to see me is because I am not an MD. They have lost any trust and credibility they have lost all the credibility when it comes to MD. They don't have any trust in them, and the fact that I was not an MD was the first thing that got their interest. So that totally contradicts what this creature is.
Well, yes. And Dr. Carpenter, I can tell you just from where I stand, I would never, ever go to an MD unless my life literally depended on it and there was no one else available, like an extreme emergency. Never.
Yeah. You might go for a broken bone, but,
yes,
like that. When a car accident, something, but other than that, ugh. Okay, so you want to go over what else she was saying or what else she did?
Yes. Okay, we already covered that Michelle Wolven lied. We have to keep stressing the fact that Michelle Wolven is an unrepentant liar. And
This is a lie. This is a lie.
She accuses everybody else of being what she is. Yeah.
I present evidence later in the show documented evidence from actual court files that Michelle Wolven is a liar. But anyway, let's get back to this letter that she sent, libeling Dr. Carpenter, libeling Barbara Hartwell,
and you,
and trying to get your show basically taken off the air.
Yeah, threatening him that the show and the station is being reported to the FCC.
Yes. Here's what she says. I am now letting you know that the medical conspiracy show is being reported for violations against the FCC. Complaints are being made regarding fraudulent advertising, calling Ms. Carpenter a with small dr in quotes, a doctor, when she has no medial credentials.
I saw that.
Instead of medical, medial.
Yeah.
But now, all ignorant people that have no education whatsoever, they think that doctor means physician, nothing else. Doctor means that you have a postgraduate degree.
As a doctorate, yes, that's correct. Let me just finish this sentence.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. When she has no medial, meaning medical, credentials, claiming to have a cure for cancer and treating desperate cancer patients illegally with it, exclamation point. What do you have to say about that?
And she had been going with this illegal. Okay, let me clarify something. Arkansas is the worst state as far as allowing freedom of medical treatment, okay? And so I had, like the law required, a physician overseeing. Oklahoma is the most liberal state as far as medical treatment is. And that's because Oklahoma was for the longest time Indian territory. So they believe in
that's the only way. That's the only way Oklahoma is liberal.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, but it's not.
Okay.
So okay, let's
that was
not.
a joke. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's actually traditional for Oklahoma because it was Indian territory, and Indian had their medicine man. It's not an MD they go to. The majority of cases, some do now, but I'm just saying that's why Oklahoma allow healers. And they do not depend on the medical board. They do not depend on the DO board. They are independent, and the boards cannot bother or arrest them. That is the law of the state I'm in. And that bothers Arkansas like hell because they can't do anything about it. They've been harassing me, giving me trouble, all sorts of things. They harassed the doctor that was working with me. He was a DO. DO in Oklahoma, an MD can do what he wants. If he wants to use B17, he can. And they do. Some medical doctor that go alternative. They can do anything they want, and the medical board cannot harass them. The DO is a different thing because the DO has a different training. So usually they're not allowed to work in alternative medicine. They leave him alone as long as there are no problems. But as soon as these animals there started attacking Les Medin, then the DO board decided to press and insist on their rules that a DO cannot work on alternative medicine. And that's why he could not work with me anymore, which damaged him.
Okay, but the point that we need to make, we have to keep driving home this point. Michelle Wolven is a liar.
This is a lie.
So she's claimed that you're treating desperate cancer patients illegally. And you are not doing anything of the kind. Okay, now
go ahead.
Let me move on.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the next point. Further, we are making complaints for using our personal information, naming people who have died from her treatment, like Cynthia Babecca and Robert Criscuolo's wife, that's Bob, of course, using my name without my permission.
Okay, is she using mine and your name without permission?
Yeah,
maybe we should just ask her. I'm sure she'd give us permission.
Okay, now let me finish this paragraph, and then we can discuss it. Okay?
Yeah.
Using my name without my permission, attacking my reputation by accusing me on air of working with anti-abortion people to kill doctors, being paid by some medical conspiracy establishment to go after her and her fake treatment, etc. Okay, now you can make your comments, Dr. Carpenter.
Okay, right. Well, she's saying we are using her name without permission. She has been slandering, not using, slandering and throwing mud on my name and my family and everybody involved in Les Med Inc. except my ex, of course, but he's no longer involved with the company.
That's right.
That's why.
Exactly. Let me just make this point. She drew first blood. She was the one who started using your name, libeling and slandering, harassing.
I didn't even know who she was.
That's exactly right. She drew first blood.
It's again interesting as you say that, because one of the first things that she said to me on a message board back when we first, brushed pixels with her was using the word blood libel. She accused me of blood libel, blood libeling her.
Yeah.
Pot and kettle, you see.
Well, she's an ignoramus, though. Remember, she's a belligerent ignoramus, and that's the worst kind.
But then she keeps saying, okay, about they died from my treatment. Her friend who died from her handling her cancer, from her giving the bad advice.
Oh, here you go.
My dear friend, Cynthia Babecca, passed away because she believed Dr. Carpenter's lies.
There you go.
And she did not. She had a year of chemo radiation. That's what happened.
And a bunch of other stuff, too.
Yeah, plus the garbage of the glyconutrient, whatever garbage that she was giving her.
Gerson. Don't forget Gerson.
Oh, she said that she couldn't do the Gerson diet because it was too difficult and she was already too weak. Okay, but anyway, and then, of course, again, practicing medicine without a license. And...
Let me read that, Dr. Carpenter. Let me read that exactly as she stated it. What she is doing is not only against the laws of our country, practicing medicine without a license. Maybe you should insist on seeing her degrees, but she is betraying community standards and trust.
I am betraying community standard and trust. What happened to all the people, and not just the one that did the deposition. She keep going on and on and on with the same stupid 3 cases. There are people that keep posting blogs more and more over time, and they're saying, hey, I had the treatment, I'm fine. No, those are not valid because the public hasn't met them. Why? Have they met her? Or her friends, or the people connected with the story she's saying? See, it's a double standard, totally ridiculous. And the people that are saying good things, those are liars. Those are not, those are family members. Those are not real patients. And they tell you details in some of the blogs. They tell you so many details of their situation that you really cannot make them up unless you have been through that stage of healing.
But you'll never see those blogs on page 1 of Google.
Yeah, I know.
That's right. They got people doing that.
Yeah, let's address that just real briefly before we go into the next segment here. She also accused you, as did I believe Bob also accused of this, that you manipulated Google because my website doesn't really exist. It's a fake, and
and the posts are fake.
And the posts are fake, and meanwhile there's like almost around 750 articles going back to 2006. So she's accused you of running this huge operation.
Don't touch that mouse.
In a very short time.
We're
put up a huge website filled with material in order to that you manipulated Google to do this.
Okay, we're back here for the second hour, and the first hour went so fast I could hardly believe it. So that must be that we were having a great time. Real Paul. Otherwise, it wouldn't have gone that fast. It was pretty amazing. Okay, and what were we saying, Barbara, when we got the...
I think we wanted to make the point about the FCC, which is absurd because Orion is not under the jurisdiction of FCC, is it?
No.
Well, I was told by a couple of people that no.
It's internet radio is a different thing, so it's not doesn't even apply to them. But in any case, what does she think that the FCC is YouTube?
And as far as the language used, I'll tell you what, you just plug in 24 hours, and this is the most clean-mouthed show on Orion. If not
say anything other than the fact that she's lying to people and she is misrepresenting herself. We're not saying anything. Oh, we're using her name without her permission. Well, I don't believe that the FCC has any rules.
You don't need her permission. As we said before the break, she drew first blood. She went out, started libeling, slandering, stalking, harassing, and now she thinks you need her permission to use her name?
Well, because apparently she got it all last 2 years from the snake barrister, little Willy.
I think she may be smoking something. That's what I think.
I don't know what she is, but she's dreaming because she thinks they don't apply, the same rules. That's just their mentality. The same rule do not apply. So she can slander me because she wants to, but I cannot fight back. Yeah, I don't think so. That's not how it works. But anyway, yeah, the FCC is not an issue here anyway.
Okay. Well, now I think before we move on to the real liar portion of the program, where we present the evidence, I think we should mention that the station manager of the radio reported to you that she continued to send harassing messages and very angry harassing messages because the station manager had the integrity. He did the right thing to forward her complaint with her fraudulent claims and her libel to you.
Mm-hmm. But, she should have known that would happen because when her friend, 2 years ago, that friend called
Stadmiller.
John Stadmiller in RBN. He called me and told me the phone call he had. And he said there was a real stupid woman. He said there was sound of screaming kids in the background. Really, totally unprofessional. Yeah. Then when Michelle Woven sent an email to Liberty News Radio, they forwarded to me. So that was done all the time. So what's the surprise here? That the station manager of Orion would do the same thing. And that's stupidity. Obviously, he was going to do that.
Of course, anybody with integrity. You're one of the talk show hosts on the network, okay? They get a complaint from a whack job, like Michelle Wolven, making all kinds of allegations and false claims and libel and slander about me and you and others. And what does she think he's going to do? Just keep it to himself? See, these people have a double standard.
Yeah, but, last year, one of the radio station, the TV station in town, Fox 23, we were paying a lot of money to advertise on Fox 23. And they were still getting ready to do a slander article on me with me advertising at their station. They were still going to do it.
Broken Arrow Ledger, same way.
Well, were we advertising on Broken Arrow? Yeah, I guess we were. But the Fox 23 was, yeah.
But here it is. Again, this woman has a double standard.
Oh, okay? Sure.
She thinks she can go out and say whatever she pleases. She can libel with impunity, slander, make all kinds of false claims against people, you, me, anybody else. And then she becomes angry because,
she's exposed.
Because she's exposed. Yeah. Because she's exposed. And people are not giving her the response that she wanted.
Yeah, she's furious because nobody's answering her. And that's what she was saying. What is the matter? I want to have an interview with somebody.
Okay, well, now, do we want to go into the... Maybe we should talk about Howard first before we go into the...
Let's go. We can talk about Howard because it confirms additional lies. Go ahead and present her history. why you say there is evidence that she's a liar, and you have it all on an article.
I have on my website. Anybody can go to my website. It's called Barbara Hartwell versus CIA. You can just look it up. It's a blogspot site. All right. What I did is I did some searches for Michelle Wolven on a Google search. And okay, a Google search, and taken from my website here is, I think we need them before we start this segment.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you're about to hear is true, and no, we didn't change any names this time.
No, this is the real names, and from my little report here.
Without her permission.
Yes. Exposed. Michelle Wolven, unrepentant liar. Okay. Now I'm just going to kind of read here right from my report, and I have segments and excerpts from other reports. Okay.
Are you sure it's your report? It's not ours that we hack it into your website?
Well, only the shadow knows.
Yeah.
Only the shadow knows.
Don't have that clip.
Too bad.
All right.
Next time.
All right, here it is.
Okay.
Which brings me to other targets of Michelle Wolven, who have documented her harassment, her attempts to violate the rights of others, to physically obstruct the activities of law-abiding persons while herself breaking the law. This particular report comes from APAC, a group that supports, quote, pro-choice. And I have a link. Anyone can go to my website and find the original report. And I have to read this note here. It says, this is me speaking, the real Barbara Hartwell, I am not an advocate of abortion, but that is not the issue here. The only issue is busybody stalker Michelle Wolven's extreme aggression against private citizens and her attempts to force her will and her beliefs on others. Now, Michelle Wolven is described by her targets as, quote, white trash with a bad perm, quote, the auntie from hell, and, quote, the bitch. Okay.
Pretty much covers it.
Yeah.
I myself wouldn't have called her a bitch on the air, but somebody else said it. So, okay. All right. Now here's the excerpt number 1 from the APAC report. Michelle and her husband, often with some of their 4 children in tow, drive all the way to Atlanta. This is in Georgia, I guess.
I think they got double that now. Anyway.
The number of kids. I think they have 8 kids. I don't know. I read it somewhere that she has 8 kids.
So they drive all the way to Atlanta to harass patients and their companions. Michelle's normal tone of voice seems to be screaming at the top of her lungs. And as I observe, this is an aside, screaming like a banshee.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now she's going to complain that you used her voice without her permission.
Oh, yeah.
Pink Floyd, live at Pompeii.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, continuing on with the testimony of targets of Michelle Wolven. She is undaunted by the fact.
Another break already.
Already? Yeah. Okay, we'll take up after the break.
He's a habitual liar.
Exactly. When we took the break, I was about in the middle of the first excerpt from this report. Okay, it says, all right, so we talked about how she was screaming. Her normal tone of voice seems to be screaming at the top of her lungs, which we just heard, by the way.
Roger Waters does a good impression of her.
Yes. that's Pink Floyd. I didn't even ever hear that one by Pink Floyd. I'm surprised.
It's called Careful with That X, Eugene.
Okay. Now, this references Michelle. She is undaunted by the fact that patients either find her scary or funny. Michelle persists in her belief that she is there to, quote, offer help to women, and that the patients, quote, appreciate her being there. Michelle often accuses the escorts of hitting and shoving her. She also accused one escort who does not smoke, of burning her with cigarettes. One morning, when I informed another escort that I was going to the car to get my sunglasses, Michelle looked at me and said, "It is the demons inside you that can't stand the sun."
Oh, yeah.
Not only does Michelle believe, I get this now, not only does Michelle believe that I and other escorts are possessed by demons, she also claims to have photographs of yours truly in robes performing pagan sacrifices. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
How stupid anybody can even come up with that story. Oh, come on.
Okay. I mean, now we already know that she's a liar, okay? But look at the claim she's making. First, she's claiming that you're killing people with lasers and you're practicing without a license and you're doing illegal things and you're this and you're that. And Barbara Hartwell doesn't exist. But these other people, they're performing pagan sacrifices. It's the same kind of nonsense.
It's the same, yeah.
All right, now I'm going to just say something in between before I say the next excerpt. There's a legal phrase, and it goes like this: falsus in uno, falsus in omnibus. And what it means, if there's a witness on the stand and the witness lies about one thing, it's going to be assumed that he or she is lying about everything. Because you're a liar. So if you're a liar, you lie.
You have no idea what could be if it ever has any truth coming out of it.
Well, exactly.
I'm telling you, and I have that from very first-hand experience. My second ex, the one I call Barracuda because he's cooperated with the trolls. I mean, he will not be able to tell the truth if his life was in danger. If his life depended on it, he still will not be able to tell the truth. Okay?
Well,
and there are some people that way.
That they're pathological liars, and Michelle Wolvin is obviously one of them. Now this gets much better. Coming right up. Okay, all right. I'm going to read just the next paragraph, and then I'm going to go down to the real meat of the issue.
Schedule, yeah.
Us escorts must be doing something right, as Michelle wants to get rid of us in the worst way. She started off by calling the police every time an escort looked at her the wrong way. She believes that anyone who stands between her and a client should be arrested. The police would write up their reports, tell everyone to behave, and be on their way. Michelle later escalated to filing out applications for warrants and dragging us into court. The results are as follows. Okay, I think we need the Dragnet music again.
Okay.
August 16th, 1997. Ms. Wolvin tells police officer that a clinic escort poked her, quote, later files application for warrant. November 6th, 1997, complaint withdrawn. September 12th, 1997, Ms. Wolvin tells Atlanta police officer that a clinic escort, quote, hit her. Later files application for warrant. November 6th, 1997, complaint dismissed. Ms. Wolvin admits on stand that no one hit her. She's a liar. Okay, moving right along. October 11, 1997. Ms. Wolven tells Atlanta police officer that a clinic escort, quote, pushed and shoved, unquote, her sister-in-law, Deborah Wolven, who later files application for warrant. November
This is a lie.
November 6, 1997. Michelle Wolven and her sister-in-law both admit on the stand that clinic escort did not touch Deborah Wolven. February 24th, 1998. Ms. Wolven files application for warrant claiming a clinic escort, quote, backed into her.
This is a lie.
May 6th, 1998. Complaint withdrawn. February 24, 1998. Ms. Wolven files application for warrant claiming another clinic escort, quote, spilled coffee on her.
This is a lie.
May 6, 1998. After Fulton County investigator views Ms. Wolven's videotaped, quote, evidence, the judge tells Ms. Wolven to withdraw complaints or he will deny them. Now, that's the end of that report. I'm just going to read you the two comments that are under that. Michelle Wolven has also filed false complaints against two Fulton County Sheriff's deputies. One of the deputies had arrested Ms. Wolven for trespass and disturbing the peace at Midtown Hospital, case pending. On May 9, 1998, Michelle accidentally bumped into an escort. Michelle said to the escort, "Get out of my way or I'll drag you into court too." Okay? Now, let me just wrap this up. This is from my article. Seen enough yet? Michelle Wolven, the busybody from hell, uses raw aggression in the form of lies, slander, libel, stalking, false, quote, legal complaints against targets. She is an unrepentant liar who bears false witness with impunity against anyone who, quote, stands in the way of her obsessive objectives. Michelle Wolven is an extreme violator of the privacy, the personal boundaries, and the God-given rights and liberties of others. Do not let Michelle Wolven get away with her crimes and civil offenses. Expose her. Make a formal complaint to the appropriate authorities. Shut down the busybody from hell, Michelle Wolven. Amen.
Don't let her find your neighbors.
That's right. Let's go there. Let's talk about that.
Oh man, I've talked about this so much till I'm blue in the face, but now I guess you never can repeat it too many times. Yeah, she with a few phone calls and some emails, she got at least three that I know of in my neighborhood to join her. All right.
Okay, we're back, and Barbara has presented to you evidence that this creature has a long history of harassing people for whatever, being paid, whatever cause.
And perjury.
And perjury. She has history.
Complaints against individuals.
Oh, and by the way,
perjury. That's a good one.
But by her own saying that when she sent the letter to the station manager, okay, she basically implied that we are guilty of moral turpitude. And if you, in her listing, yeah, saving lives is moral turpitude, I guess. And saving people for torture or chemoradiation and maiming, that must be moral turpitude, too.
And thou shalt not bear false witness. She claimed to be a Christian. A real Christian would not be bearing false witness against anybody. I don't care if it's the worst enemy. You don't bear false witness.
You don't do that. Yeah, but let me tell you, the listing of moral turpitude, the different things that constitute moral turpitude, at the bottom is perjury. So she is guilty of that, and she is usually pasting it to everybody else's that fault. But anyway, then after that, she didn't get any answer from the station manager, even though she harassed him and all of that. She kept sending him email, and being ignored. So she sent an email to another show host. His name is Howard Nima, and he's actually not just on cable, on the web. He's also on radio, isn't he?
Yes, he is, Dr. Carpenter. And as a matter of fact, we all did a show together a couple months ago.
Yeah, and it was a regular
combination show.
Yeah.
Yes, and Howard is one of us. He's a good guy.
I think we're going to come on his show sometime in the next week or so.
Yeah.
Not sure when.
Definitely.
But she found him, and because last week he said something about what this woven creature was doing, and talk about that Barbara was being attacked simply because she came on our show. So he said something, and so Barbara wrote to him. Not Barbara. I mean, the agent provocateur sent him an email thinking that maybe this was the case. And she basically is asking him to interview her so she can tell the truth. Barbara didn't say the truth. Howard probably didn't have enough information, but she wants to give him the truth. Like she knew what the truth is.
And here's the thing. Interestingly enough, the woven creature did not even mention my name in the letter to Howard. And I think the reason for that is because she knew better than to do that. Because
really? I didn't pick up on that.
Never mentioned in that.
Wow.
I don't think she mentioned.
Libeled Dr. Carpenter. She libeled Dr. Carpenter, presented herself in a false, phony way, like, oh, I'm just trying to give you the facts, Howard. I think you're a real truth teller, Howard.
Yeah, she says you're one of the good guys.
You're one of the good guys,
then
trying to flatter him, butter him up.
Right. They tried that with Randy last year.
Mm-hmm.
But and then with the comment she made,
he's waiting for your call.
Mm-hmm.
I am asking you to reconsider what you have heard and been told. And then she goes,
you know what Howard said to me?
Yeah.
What Howard said to me is this. He said, I'm not going to respond to her. He said, her response will be your report, the one that I just read from.
Yeah.
He said that will be the response to her.
But a comment is saying to Howard, she said, it is quite easy, obviously, to manipulate the truth. Yeah, she should know.
Yeah, she knows from experience.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then,
I have to stress, this woman is a pathological liar. It's not just a liar. It's an MO. It's an operation. It's the way she does things. She is a liar. For her to make false complaints against how many people, we don't even know. This is just a number of incidents in one place. There could be much more that we don't know about.
They didn't let you know,
She is a liar. She uses lies as an MO. And if she wants to talk about manipulating things, look at herself. Look in the mirror, Michelle Wolven.
And listen, here she says, how someone like you, meaning Howard, could... what is the line? Let me see. Oh, gosh, I lost it. Hold on a minute. How... someone like you could fall for anything of this nature without even contacting any of the other people involved. Okay. Well, you know what? That's exactly what Channel 6 did. That's exactly what Fox 23 did. They never asked our evidence. They never asked for anything from us. They just went off and they decided and presented only one-sided. This is on TV.
I would have prejudiced the jury.
Here's the real issue. Michelle Wolven is not involved. She had no part in any of this. She's a busybody stalker that stuck her nose in and with raw aggression is harassing people. She's not involved.
Well, Dr. Carpenter thinks that she is because she...
Yeah, she is involved because you know what?
Had a lot of influence over that patient.
Yes, she had influence over the patient. That's true. But what I'm saying I understand that point. But she, even in that capacity, okay,
she had no credential to even give a
credentials. That's
right.
right.
And they were friends through this protest group that they belonged to.
Okay. But my point is that Dr. Carpenter treated some patients. Dr. Carpenter did nothing illegal. She did nothing wrongful, and she is being scapegoated and blamed by this woman, Michelle Wolven, who is a proven liar. It's documented that she's a liar, and now she wants to be going on to these talk shows as if she is the expert. She knows the facts. She doesn't.
Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but this might be a good place. About 20 seconds of proof here of that the case that she's blaming on Dr. Carpenter was actually doubled by chemotherapy.
Okay.
She was not given a real good chance. But they found a treatment of chemo that was supposed to increase her chances of making it by 50%. Cindy was on that chemo for approximately 6 months. And in January of 2010, the doctors said that it was not working and that she needed to stop it because her cancer cell count had actually doubled since she had begun the treatment.
Okay,
Chemo.
so the treatment of chemo failed, and actually she also had radiation. I mean, she was getting worse, and it is my fault. It's Les Meding's fault. The problem is that this patient did not listen during the healing process.
Because you interfered with the big lie of chemo.
Yeah. But anyway, she had the tumor coming out of the... Yeah, what?
Dr. Carpenter, I just want to add this. I think it's really important. In your treatment protocols, they work if the patient follows them, and you give them precise instructions of what they have to do. If they go and don't follow the protocols that go along with the treatment is sabotaged by them not following it. And this woman went and took advice from this charlatan, this liar, Michelle Wolven.
Yeah. And she also took advice on the type of testing. See, before they leave, we give them post-treatment guideline with information which type of testing is misleading. You cannot do it because it gives you the wrong information. And also is clearly written, you cannot have chemo after this treatment. Otherwise, you'll die, more than likely. It's a very good chance you'll die because you're only killing your own healthy tissue. You're not killing anything, and you're not affecting the dead tissue. It's dead.
And you have made that very clear.
Not only that, you know what? They sign that they have read the post-treatment guideline and they understand it.
Yes.
They signed it.
Exactly. So my question is, where does this Wolven creature, this charlatan, this stalker, this freak, where does she get off telling people what they should and should not be doing, and thereby making it very dangerous?
It's killing them because there are a lot of patients that advanced cases that standard treatment cannot save them, leave alone the night. Okay. The only chance they got, and she tells them not to come to me, they die. One thing that I want to stress some more out of the letter to Howard, then we got other things to discuss, but out of the letter is that she is trying to get this person on her side, and she manipulates the fact. Unfortunately, she keeps contradicting herself because she first had said nothing about thyroid cancer for 2 years. Then she said, yeah, she had to spot there, but I treated them, which I didn't. And I can prove I didn't from the insurance filing we helped her fill. You have to put the code, the diagnosis code, and there is nothing about thyroid cancer on that. So there you are. You lose. Liar. But anyway, but she's saying, and now she's saying to Howard that we treated the thyroid cancer, but actually it wasn't thyroid cancer. That went away, and it was benign. And then when they did all this testing, she had metastases everywhere. You know, she had...
So she's contradicting herself
all the time. And then she's
lying, as she always does.
Well, liars do forget what they say, and they're trying to make a point, and they don't remember what they said. See, that's the problem. And then she said that she had lung cancer, uterus, abdomen. Okay. And not thyroid cancer. That was benign now. And then he's saying, okay, lung cancer.
Still a bunch of cancer.
Yes, but the uterine cancer is caused by a chemo. There is no obvious. And then she said she might have had a bone cancer, all sorts of garbage. And she's trying to claim that is the laser treatment. It cannot do that. But the thing is that she keeps, I'm sure she knows she's lying about the timing. She claims that all those metastases came up before she went to an oncologist, as she went for the testing, and before she had any chemo radiation. That's not so at all.
And I got it right here on the video that I played before the break, that her cancer cell count had doubled as a result of the chemo she was.
Well, but it doesn't clearly state that there were no metastases. But I know I got a letter from the husband that said they did the testing on the breast tissue and it is cancer. Well, this type of cancer. Yes, but the testing doesn't tell you whether it's dead or alive. It can tell you which type of cancer because not everything is decomposed beyond recognition yet. After 10 months, it's not. But it doesn't tell you whether it's dead or alive. That was not the right testing.
Okay, but let's encapsulate this as it relates
But anyway, she also said, okay, that the patient was, it's all full of lies. She said the patient, her friend, could not get out of bed. Well, I'm sure she couldn't, but that is after the standard treatment. Because before she had standard treatment, she has an email, and it's shown in one of our videos, the video about her case. We have several videos out there, and the one of Cindy Bebeck is out there too.
Truth Rises to the Top, Part 1.
Yeah, Part 1. And that's what I show, the email from Cindy that says summer was coming, she wanted to go on vacation, and she could not go on go to swim, have a wear a bathing suit and go to swim with the breast looking like that. And by the way, it looked like that because of all the garbage she had taken. And she wanted from me something to make the healing speed up. Geez, I am not God, okay? I cannot make miracle. She listened to my advice, she would not have had that mess. But now that the mess is there, what can I do about it? Yes, it will heal, but slowly. So she was not obviously bedridden if he was saying that we are going on vacation and I cannot go swimming like that. So, see,
but the point is that Michelle Wolven, first of all, is making false claims. She is contradicting herself. She is twisting the information, and then she's passing this false information and massive contradictions and lies onto a talk show host, trying to get herself in the limelight to talk about something that she doesn't know anything about, aside from the fact that she's a liar.
I know.
She's a liar. She's a manipulator, and she's preying off of desperate cancer victims.
And she's saying that about me. Yeah. And she is a proven liar. That's completely ridiculous, okay? It is completely ridiculous. But she thinks that Howard wouldn't know, and they're trying to convince him. But my question is, why would she want to go after the people that have us as guests on their show? Why doesn't she go back to Lori Fulbright, a.k.a. Gestapo Helga?
Well, she could be on. I bet Alex Jones would let her on. Midas Resources, everybody. Come on. Yeah, that Carpenter lady, she's a globalist.
It's really,
and most of all, she's against reducing the population of the planet. So that's a crime, right?
Well, you have to remember, this woman is a liar. And I have something else to say. It's really, really vital and important. And that is, during the course of my research, and I've done probably about 2 months of research, and I've searched out everything on the internet, nowhere, ever, at any time, have I found as much as one contradiction from you, Dr. Carpenter, or anybody connected to you. Not one lie. You're completely consistent. You say the same thing each time. Time, going back any place you look. That's not true with these stalkers.
Well, except for her scrubbing her entire website of all references to her MD,
which never happened.
Right. All of my interviews say, no, I am not an MD, and please do not confuse me for an MD because I find that insulting. Okay, the reason why this has come to life is because I am not an MD.
Well, that's right. And I'm just wondering what they are thinking that they're going to come up with next. Michelle Wolven and Bob.
I don't know. They'll think of something else, and probably little Willie's gonna try to help him. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure he's still making money doing this. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But remember when a few weeks ago the woman said, they're gonna take her lasers, they're gonna take her computers, they're gonna take everything she has. Praise the Lord.
Yeah, well, all the money they want, and they're going to take those lasers that they spent 3 years telling everybody were worthless.
And you know what? Speaking of praise the Lord, let's talk about
religion.
The fact that she's hiding, like many other hypocrites, she's hiding behind the church and behind religion. But as we said, Christians do not bear false. True Christians. I'm not talking about somebody that's a Christian in name, claiming to be
going to church. I go to church every Sunday, so therefore I'm Christian.
They do not. True Christians. I don't care if they go to church or not. A true Christian does not bear false witness. A true Christian does not stalk and harass people. A true Christian doesn't spread lies and libel and slander. That's not what Christians do. Not a real Christian.
Yeah, but my father said that a long time ago. He said there are some people that use going to church and use the church as a cover for their evil doing. Say, I cannot be guilty of anything because I go to church. I am a Christian. I'm a devout
Look at all these televangelists that are out there. They're child molesters and...
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, oh, my son, Did you feel it? Did you feel it?
Oh, my God.
What is it?
That was a word for somebody. Somebody out there needs to send a $1,000 vow.
Oh, because otherwise...
Yeah, dig deep in your pockets, brothers and sisters.
Yeah, so they can have a gold faucets in their house. You know what I'm
George
talking
W.
about.
Bush was a front row Christian, front pew Christian.
Sure.
Well, he was always saying, God bless. I hate that when he's an hypocrite when they say that, God bless.
They're just phony.
Yeah, they are. And they use the church as a cover. See, I have to be an honest person. Obviously, I'm a great person because, as you see, I'm going to church every Sunday. I never miss it. And it's just disgusting. And this woman person is not only going to church. She is one of the high-ranking, with Rebecca, or high-ranking something in the church. I don't know what position the different
part of the leadership of the church.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is the chairman of the Right to Life committee.
What about the right to life without harassment and stalking? What about that?
Well, she was pushing those people that were killing doctors that were performing abortion. What about right to life of a doctor? Of somebody that decides he wants to help people that want an abortion?
Well, you know what I read in that article, one of the articles there? We only have a couple minutes, but what I read was that some of these anti-abortion activists were bombing. They were actually in Birmingham, I believe they bombed a clinic. You know what Michelle
she
said they burned it down themselves for the insurance money.
Right, I saw that.
That's unbelievable. Come on.
Yeah. But I think she was connected with some of the people that killed. See that guy that had that clinic and they killed him? You know, the clinic still went on even after he was killed. They still
a person who would lie, who engages in raw aggression against other people, who has zero respect for the personal boundaries and rights of others, that person is capable of anything. I would put nothing past this woman.
Well, she was trying, even against it, she was trying to get here people in Oklahoma, they don't care, but she was getting try to get the local to harass me and maybe some nutcases shoot me or something. She just doesn't know the law of Oklahoma. That's her problem.
Neighbors. She recruited Randy's neighbors.
Well, that's to get him arrested with any excuse, okay?
So they could start a fight on the porch, right?
Yeah, but they were trying to get people to come to our location and just create disorder. Maybe some nutcase will shoot.
I hear the music.
Yeah, I think I hear it too. Okay, well, I think we had a good time. What do you think?
Thank you, Barbara, for coming back. Barbara Hartwell versus CIA.blogspot.com.
With Dr.
I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Okay.